Right as the tenure of His Excellency Governor Gordon Obaseki come to an end very soon, by November, he will be handing over to his successor. The question is, what are the parameters to look at in getting the next governor across party lines? We have with us in the studio some gentlemen who will be sharing light with us and telling Edo-lites what they should look out for. From my immediate left is Honorable Egbe Samuel. He's the state coordinator for Peter Obi movement. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Priest.
Good to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah. And from my extreme left is the Commissioner for Mining and Energy at those states. Is a person of Ojefo and Naholo. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good morning. All right, now walk us through, Commissioner for Mining. You are in this government. You are part of this government. Let's look at the successes recorded by the Obaseki's administration and not forgetting some areas where he didn't perform well. But if we want to put all this together, are we going to say this administration has performed?
For me, to quantify or give credit or do evaluation on performance, you have to check the system of performance. You have to check the structure. You have to check before and after. Then you have to check the economic value, or what value does that performance is giving out or give out to the people that are doing the evaluation and people that will do the record for us. So we have to talk about the value first. Remember that before now, Edo was one of the states that if you put them on the scale, you discover that Edo State just have, it's a state with a structure, but there's no system. We just have the structures as Edo people, but a lot of system factors was not on that particular structure that was designed. For me, Obaseki is the best governor by rating of economic value. Obaseki is one of the best that the South have ever produced. Obaseki is one of the best that Nigeria can be proud of. And one of my challenge and also a concern to me is how people value progress and success. Let's start with, let me start explaining to you different sector that we need to use. Let's use this sector because governance is about sectors. We have the education sector, we have the mining sector, we have the electricity, which is also the energy sector. We have other sectors that we need to put into consideration.
But you're speaking like this because you're part of the government.
No, not because I'm part of the government.
A good number of Edo-lites are not really okay with the achievement of this current administration.
Let me come with this. A lot of people who are talking about achievement don't know what is happening in Edo. Like the last time I saw on the internet, one of the young boy was making a lot of noise on the internet that the motor refinery is not working. It's an MOU, it's scam, it's this. I called him, I said, please come to my office. I called my driver, I said, let's go to, I'm the commissioner for oil and gas. Let me take you to the motor refineries. And God may help us, as we're getting to the refinery, 2 trucks of crude were just going in, and about 7 trucks of...
in Edo State?
Edo State, yes. Yes, of course, in the Ologo here. And I said, this is the Edo refinery. So you saw 2 trucks of crude just parking. We saw another 7 trucks of AGO about to leave the compound. And I said, you saw the Chinese, you saw the staffs, everybody working. I said, this is Edo refinery. Now, the last time we had issue with...
Could it be that some of the successes recorded are not properly documented?
Yes, no, not just properly documented. The governor is not a noise maker. All right? It's not the governor that wake up in the morning and go to one of the construction sites and say, look at this one now. This, I will sack you. No. It's not a noise maker.
Okay.
The governor is an achiever. Okay. He makes less of noise, but he's doing so much.
Let's get to Heavy D now. He has been listening to us talk. In the build-up to the presidential election, you were one force in the obedient movement in the States. As a matter of fact, you were a force to be reckoned with all through the electionary period. Should we see the same wave? Should we see the same, are we going to expect the same momentum from the obedient movement as far as the Edo election is concerned?
Yeah, obedient movements, we are already warming up. But before I talk about the wave, let me just get it clear about what obedient movement. There's a misconception about the mitra itself. Obedient movements actually started from PDP. You know, when Peter Obi, some of us, I belongs to the Like Mind for Peter Obi. I'm the state coordinator for Like Mind for Peter Obi. We bought him his first ticket in PDP to contest for the presidency. Some of us, after he attended platform organized by Bojo Yemade, we saw potentials in him, and we decided to come together to say, no, we have to push this man to contest for the presidential election because he's fit to, you know, he has what it takes to be the president of Nigeria and to move us from where we are to where we want to be. And he also have the mindset of Nigeria moving from consumption to production. And that's what is backing the obedient movement. That's what the entire obedient movement is about. Somebody that can move us from consumption to production. Somebody that can move Nigeria from where he is to, and we saw that person in Peter Obi. And why we are saying it, the mitra actually came from, I think it's from the book of Isaiah. That young man coined the mitra, that if you are willing and obedient, that's only when you shall eat the goods of the land. So that's how the obedient movement started. It started from PDP. It's not a child of Labour Party. So in the build-up for Edo State, that's why you're also saying that you see billboard like obedient for Aswen Odaro. Some obedient people believe that Aswen is the only technical person we have among those.
But is it not misleading? Isn't it misleading to have the person of Peter Obi, who is of the Labour Party, and you now have the obedient movement, who are presumed to be people from the extraction of Labour Party, form a coalition in support for an opposition? Wouldn't that be anti-party activities?
No, praise, that's what I explained to you. Obedient movement are not necessarily Labour Party members. There are people that believed in Peter Obi because of his technical know-how to rule the country and the vast knowledge and what he has done before. A lot of them are also saying that same thing in Aswen Odaro. Though some are with Akpata, but a lot of the movement members, they're free people. They are not playing partisan politics. They have the right to choose whoever they want to support.
Okay, let's quickly get to Germany now, where we have Benjamin Mayor Oyemede joins us virtually. Good morning, Benjamin, and good to have you on the show. Are you there, Benjamin? All right, it seems we are not getting Mr. Benjamin on. Okay, Mr. Benjamin, good morning. Well, I think we need to check out your audio quality.
I'm here.
Good morning,
I'm
Benjamin.
here. Can you hear me? Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. All
Good
right, walk
morning. I
us
can hear you
through,
too.
looking at the political arena in Edo State and Nigeria by extension, what says you? What are your expectations ahead of the gubernatorial elections?
Thank you for this beautiful question. The gubernatorial election in Edo State is just a situation that I would describe like it is crystal clear like the Bablika Teke Teke Mene Yufasi. You don't win an election when the people are not with you. And as you can see today, that the good people of Edo State are fully behind Dr. Aswe Godalo of the PDP. And most of us in diaspora are also yearning for him because of his competency, characters, and compaction, coupled with equity, fairness, and justice, and which we all believe that this is the only thing that can unite the good people of Edo State together and those in diaspora. And this is the reason why we are all clamoring for him to become the governor of Edo State. It is not something that is a rocket science. It's not a rocket science. And we have seen his antecedent, what he has done. And we believe that he's going to do more when he becomes the governor of Edo State, when he gets to Sadepe Avenue.
Now, you were an aspirant in the build-up to the election in the state. But however, you were of the Labour Party. What now happens? Just all of a sudden, you now discover that the person, Aswe Godalo, is the right man, and he's of the PDP. Is there a balance there? Can we strike a balance from there?
A total balance. You know, I am a business. I'm trying to assess situation and make a decision, especially when it comes to a drastic one like the one I just made before I left Labour Party. When I was contesting, or rather aspiring to become the governor of Edo State, I look around my peers and I look around myself. I definitely saw something that I said it is important I join the race. And at the long run, we started having this conversation with the Labour Party. And during the conversation, we found out that there was no, that we know they were not ready to give room for a fair primary election, a free and fair primary election. And that being said, we found out a lot of people were jumping the goalposts. Those who were never politicians from the beginning were joining the party. And those we know that fought against the movement, the obedient movement during the presidential election, were joining the party. Some of us we became so worried. And during the build-up to the primary election, things that we all campaigned against in Labour Party started happening. There were misunderstanding, allegations of exchange of funds, and delegate voters inducement and all that. You know, I am building my profile on an excellent background. So I wouldn't want a situation where I will be called out tomorrow to say, you were part of this, you were part of that. So I decided to have a rethink with my team. I decided it is better that you take a decision before you get deeper into it. So a lot of smaller other political parties were reaching out to me to be their party flag bearer, but I made a decision to step down from the race. After we told them, we as a political analyst, we as a younger politician, a digital politician in this digital era, it is better they will, or rather, they give the ticket, the Labour Party ticket to Edo Central, which they vehemently rejected. Not just
I will get
election
back to
where
you. Let's return back
so
to the studio. Commissioner, in the build-up to the election, mostly the primary election, we saw how the state governor threw his weight behind the candidacy of Aswe Godalo, and that caused a major problem in the party. We saw how about 9 or 10 of the aspirants actually pulled out and actually called for a cancellation of the primary election. Is it wise for a city governor to throw his weight openly for an aspirant?
Look at it, not throwing his weight, actually. Governor Obaseki opened up the space for everybody to contest, all right? Now, when you are going for any product, or you want to go for any project, you look for the best, all right? Now, a lot of them have so much to offer. We are looking at candidates that can give us, that can maintain the status, that can maintain the system Obaseki have built. Let me tell you something. Are you aware today, it's only Edo State. Go and check, verify. Edo State is the only state in Nigeria that is operating on e-governance, 100%. That means all our files since the creation of this state that was available to us in that document, in that paper.
So you don't have papers flying around in offices?
No, since September 1st,
no clerical officers carrying papers from one office to another?
We have saved, Obaseki have saved over 60 billion. Do you know how much we're spending on papers and ink and other things in the office? Do you know how much Edo State will, if you go to the budget, you see it very clear. Edo State is the only state in Nigeria that is operating on e-governance, 100%. I don't need to carry my file to go and see governor. In less than 24 hours, all files will be approved, all memos will be approved. Edo State is the only state.
But how does this affect?
Over 20, let me come,
okay,
just a minute.
Land on your thoughts.
20 million files on our M file uploaded. All right? Now, that is a system. Edo State is the only state today in Nigeria that opened up the space for electricity market. Our electricity reform is a template by federal government. Remember, 22nd of July 2022, Obaseki opened up the electricity market to the world. As of today, the reform came as a process, as a push, as a catalyst for federal government. And Buhari saw it and said, this is a good system. You can build a system under a state, and it's working. We have 24 hours light. As I speak to you now, the Osama project was a template for the Electricity Act that was amended in 2023. Already we have our law before then, and our bill was passed. We are generating through our gas. I don't say it's on the advantage state. We have gas and we have minerals as well. So gas to power project was test run in Edo State, and it was successful. Edo State have over three multinational generating companies now in Edo. Nobody tried that. Are you
okay?
So now, why Obaseki looking for? Why were we looking for a platform that the best will come into the system?
Why is the governor throwing his weight behind?
No, not throwing his weight. Listen, remember that everybody around the governor, those 9 people, or about 10 of them, were all friends of the government. They were all in the system.
At one point in time.
Every time, not after. We're all together in the system. All right. Now, when the platform was open, Edo people begin to speak from every angle to say, listen, we need somebody that will continue from this project. We need somebody that will work on this project. Imagine we are working on a system. The civil service reform, Edo State is the only state in Nigeria today that have a civil service academy. Now, Edo State is the only state in Nigeria today that is operating on that emergency system. Our command and control center, none, not even Lagos, can compete with us.
Okay.
If you die 379, any time, any day, all the security agents are on that single room, bigger than this place. Everything is showing on the screen.
Okay.
So that system need a capable and somebody who understand this system and investment and development to come into Edo. Edo is not the Edo you know before 10 years ago. Edo have migrated. We are 10 years ahead of that state. So these people have to come into the system. We come into the pool.
And you think Aswa Ighodalo is the best person? Listen,
if you go to any job interview or any company, any good standard company will ask you first, what is your experience? All right? You can be in a compound with about 10 cars, and you can come and meet and say, oh, my father have 10 cars. Boy, are you a driver? Have you just left, maybe drive out of your compound to anywhere? If you don't have experience in driving, all right, you can't do it. Just like your journalism now. No matter how you put anything oil on my head, I need to go through the process. I have experience of journalism before I can come out and tell people about there's something you can do. I can't do them. Definitely. The same way in my mining sector, in the energy sector, you need to have experience.
I won't dare.
Yes. So experience is key. It's a capital. It's also a currency for development. Okay. Now, Aswa Ighodalo don't just have experience. It's not just about the theoretical experience. Aswa have about practical experience. Now, people don't understand what it is to sit on a board of a multinational company. As big as Nigeria Brewery is, you know what it is to sit on that board? You don't talk about tribe there. You don't talk about grammar there. This is, you need to come with, we have value to put there. We have international stakeholders. I'm a businessman.
I will return back
I came from a business sector.
I will return back to you.
So putting value to the table
is
something that I don't say.
We'll return back to you, but help me hold this on one hand. He has been part of this administration to an extent. The Alagodaro program organized by the state government, he has been in the forefront. But has this really impacted on the average?
Fantastic.
I'll get back to you on that.
No,
just hold on.
Maybe you don't need to wait for that. Let me tell you something. As I speak to you now,
I'll get back to you.
As I speak to you now, we have about 19 multinational companies in Edo. Some Edo people don't know. They have not traveled from their village to see what is happening. If you go to Saro, the biggest ethanol company now in Ologbo, you'll be so shocked. They need to go and check.
Okay.
Now, if you go to Lapese now, the biggest calcium carbonate factory is there. People even in Kuku Edo have not visited that site. If you go to Dolphin in Ovia here, you will see what is up. That is the product of Aswa Ighodalo.
If you say we have about 19 multinational companies
yes, of
that Edolites are not aware.
Yes.
Now, it's not wrong to now say that this government, in quotes, according to the people, is an MOU government.
No, listen to me. We are not talking about
it's an audio government.
Listen. We are not talking about sign art. We are talking about These structures are there. They are working. They are working. Like as a project, they are working. Go there and check.
Okay, we'll get back to
No
you.
single project Obaseki signed that, as I speak to you, either they are completed or they are ongoing.
Okay, Heavy D, help us now. Looking at some of the challenges faced by this government, is it possible to get someone that can capitalize on these challenges and take Edo forward? Owing to the fact that Governor Obaseki has incurred a lot of debt, and apart from that, insecurity is something that we are yet to curtail in the state. Just recently, some soldiers were attacked in Okomu Oil Palm organization. Recently, they were visited by the GOC, the commanding officer, and the government, of course. We are still battling with so many things. Bad roads. Go to Edo North. From here to Edo North, it's hard to access Edo North. From here, you can't travel to Edo North within 1 hour from Benin City, unlike before. Should we now say these challenges are not glaring to everyone to see?
Well, the challenges you enumerated coincidentally happens to be what the federal government, within the federal government purview, then exclusively security, the road networks you are talking about. But if you look at the internal roads owned by the state government, I think Obaseki has a good score card in that aspect. But I am working for Aswen Udaro. I can say it here. And most of us in the obedient movement.
It's confusing now. I thought you are an obedient movement person.
I'll tell you what I did. When this season of politics was coming, I have to sit with the 3 governorship aspirants to find out what they have for Edo State before I choose where, because I'm an independent politician. I don't have one leader that will move me from where I am to where he wants me to be. No. I choose. Like I told you when I came here during the obedient time, my reason for supporting Peter Obi was because he's a visionary leader. I always look for visionary leaders to support. By the time I spoke with 3 of them, I found out that among the 3 of them, yeah, they are good people. I won't tell you now that they are all dummy or they are bad. I'm not here to insult anybody. They are quite intelligent people. But, you know, my bishop always puts it this way: it will be suicidal for you to give your 8 years old child the key to your Mercedes-Benz because you think you love him. You are sending that child to go and commit suicide. So by the time I spoke with 3 of them, in the area of finance, in the area of infrastructure, I found out that there was only one person among them that actually know what it takes to attract this. So in the area of security, yes, I also posed this question the way you're asking it to all of them. It was only Aswen that told me his plan for security. His plan to bring investors. He puts it this way. Let me use this word. He said, by the time I set up tourism in Edo State and Edo North, investors will come. When they travel through this bad road, they will be the one to fix it, because they have a lot of investments that they will be interested in Edo North. He has his own plan. I'm just trying to paraphrase what he told me. He has his own plan to bring in funds. He told me, I'm an engineer, we did calculations together. What surprised me that day when I was talking with him, he picked up a biro and paper and said, this is how much is our location.
Heavy D, you are speaking like a spokesperson now.
No, not like a spokesperson. I'm telling you from my experience and the reason why some of us obedient are supporting him, so that we will not spoil the mitra. We don't want to spoil this mitra called obedience by supporting a candidate because he belongs to a particular...
But Peter Obi has disowned you people. Those of you who are saying you're obedient movement and you're supporting another party, he has disowned you.
That's
the whole of the obedient movement who are not supporting the current candidate of the Labour Party in the state, they have said that you guys don't have a father.
No.
So why still call yourself obedient movement?
Peter Obi never said that. And I also want to let you understand that the obedient movement is not actually controlled by Peter Obi. It's an independent body. Yes, it's an independent body. I am the state monitoring and evaluation unit for Peter Obi. I'm the state coordinator for Like Mind for Peter Obi. I'm the state coordinator for Coalition for Peter Obi. And those are the people that controls the movement.
Just you?
Yes.
At the center of all.
Yes.
Okay. And you are
Let me just quickly
okay, quickly. We want to
yes.
get to Benjamin now.
Now, when you talk about access road to the north, all right?
To Edo North.
Edo North, listen. We don't have, there's no, if we go to the market, you don't have one way to the market. We have different roads. As I speak to you now, the road that links from Sabo, all right, down to Auchi, all right, have been tied by Obaseki. Nylon tie. Go and check it. Listen, when I was going to Edo North the last time, I passed through this Sobe road. All right, it took me just about less than 2 hours. I was already in Edo North. Do you understand? Now, if you go to that road, by the time you get to that junction, as I speak to you now, the road is tied. And people living in that area don't even know that it's Obaseki that did that road. I was talking to one of their chiefs. I said, listen, are you aware that this? He said, okay, I'm not aware. I said, okay, listen. The next time we are going to Edo North for one of my friend's father's burial, I said, follow me down to that place. He saw the road. He was looking at me. He said, who tied this? I said, it's Obaseki. As I speak to you now, go and check. You know one thing about some of our people, they know how to say a lot of things in their bedroom. Some of my friends that were against what Governor Obaseki was doing for us and what Obaseki is doing, have never visited Edo for the past 1 year plus. When they came to my office, they saw the secretariat as if it's a private company. AC tight, 24 hours light, 24 hours internet. The state secretariat, no state secretariat, not even federal. I've been to federal secretariat. I'm a friend to all the federal secretariat. No federal secretariat is as good, as updated like Edo State.
And in the homes of an average Edo-lite, there's no lights.
Look at it. The reform,
in the home of an average Edo-lite,
let me come to
you
that.
don't enjoy these amenities
listen to me,
that you are enjoying in your office.
In electricity reform, listen to this. Listen to this. In electricity sector, all right, it was strictly exclusive.
Okay.
Now, 2023, it will now become a concurrent part of, all right, of the list. Look at it. The discos and the genscos decide if you will have light in your community or if I will have light. Not Obaseki. But now, the reform, Obaseki started the reform to say, no, let's start a pilot project for people to see that we can do our electricity, we can develop the electricity market. Now, the BDC, before the NEPA, the BDC have this infrastructure across Edo. Most of these infrastructure are underserved, some of them are unserved. That means some of them are decayed.
Okay.
Now, if you go to those communities, the BDC don't have the capacity to go. That's why you hear the last time BDC and governor was having issue, because governor was telling them the same time, my people don't have electricity, and you are giving them estimated billing. As I speak to you now, we have over close to 50,000 meters. We are still expecting more to give to Edo people free of charge. Operation Meter Edo. The Electricity Act 2023 gave the state power to generate and transmit and distribute. Before now, we can't do that.
And that gave birth to Osimo.
That gave birth to us. That gave birth to Osimo.
That gave birth to Osimo.
Osimo came before then. As I speak to you now, our renewable energy program marketing setup, we have over 6 megawatts now under the same time.
Okay,
we have in Aduwawa, we have 1 megawatt, we have in Eyan, we are building one in ISTH, we are building one now in military hospital. We are now going to Uniben now to build one.
Okay.
Now, if without the Electricity Act that was amended, the state don't have power to do this.
We will get back to you in a moment. It seems this discussion is sitting on one leg. But let's get to Benjamin Mayor. Benjamin, if you are still there. If we still have Benjamin with us. We are seeing lots of Edo citizens in diaspora show interest in this election. What is happening? Why are they showing this serious interest? And what is it that they are just waking up now, or there's something they are actually having as an aim, an objective to achieve in the election?
Thank you for the question. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Just go ahead.
Okay. It's a very good question. The Edo people in diaspora are coming home. They see what is going on in Nigeria, in Edo State, compared to the environment where they base, where they live in. So they're trying to replicate this same. The only opportunity we have is for us to get ourselves involved in the electionary process. When we are able to project a good candidate, those things that we think, that Nigerians think that they are dreams or that they are things that cannot happen, it will start happening. Most of these politicians, most of these leaders, governors, senators, and the rest of them, they come to the Western world, they see how those things have been uh, developed and managed continuously from one administration to another. But they seeing it alone, they don't know how this thing is being done. But now we have a candidate, the person of Aso Egodalo, who is engaging with the diasporans because he knows that if you want to bring an investment or investors to Edo State, he first of all needs to engage with the Nigerian, the Edo people in diaspora for him to have a lead. That is what he's simply doing. Whether you like it or not, Aso Egodalo have literally reached out to, let me say, 70% of the Edo people in diaspora. Even those who are not his lovers, even those who are not supporting him directly. He has reached out to them not through proxy, not through an organization, not through PA, not through anybody. He reached out to these people personally. He gave them a call and said, I heard what you have been doing. Thank you. I know you are not my supporter, or if you start supporting me today, I want to know what you're doing. How do you think that we can move Edo State forward? That is a slogan that is out there that said, value who valued you. And when you look around the three candidates that are going to be, the major three candidates that are going to be on the ballot, coupled with the other ones that are also on the ballot, you now begin to ask yourself, if you want the development of Edo State, if you want the betterment of Edo State, who are you going to give this baton of a leader to? That is the question you need to ask yourself. Like my brother in the studio said, all the candidates on the ballot, they are all qualified as a citizen of Edo State to contest for the highest office in the Usadebe Avenue in Edo State. They are all qualified, just like the way I did. But you, who has a company, like what the commissioner said, you first of all need to ask somebody or somebody that you want to employ, what is your area of concentration? What is your experience? What have you done over the years? Even when you are a fresh graduate, you should be able to say, this is what I have done in my internship, and this is my project, and this, no, that is where this idea comes in. But this is Aso is somebody. Let me land, please.
Please quickly.
Aso is somebody that is loved by everybody. He's loved by the people. He's moving around. He's talking to the people. And there is no room for somebody to tell you somebody is pushing him. I am not the spokesperson for the Obaseki administration, but I can tell you for free that Obaseki's achievement is not in the open, is not on the social media, is not on the media. He does not have a professional media projector to project what he has done. When you look at the economic sector, Obaseki has done extremely well. Extremely well. When you look at when Oshomole was there, the IGRO compared to what is there right now, and the investors that are there, the companies that are in the state, you cannot compare them. You cannot compare it to Oshomole's administration. For somebody to say, to just undermine Obaseki, to say he's not working as an MOU governor, I think that is an aberration. I think that is insulting. I think that one is an insult to the entire Edo people. That I will not accept as a person. I am not somebody that praise politicians for using public money to do public projects, but I think sometimes we should give accolade to those who deserve it. Thank you.
Okay, now let's get now to you, Commissioner. To an extent, some stakeholders are expressing fear. There's no way you can take away the power of incumbency when it comes to election. What is the state government doing? Though they may not really have control over the election because INEC will superintend over the electionary process. But what are they putting in place as a state to ensure free, fair, and credible election across party lines for everyone?
Okay, if you understand Obaseki's style of leadership, Obaseki want equity. He believes in equity, believes in fair play. Obaseki will not manipulate this election. He don't have any tendency to even create that enabling environment for things to be manipulated. First, understand that. Now, I have a lot of friends at the federal level. when we are going to ask them questions, they are telling me directly, say, listen, if you ask even our president today to make choice for Edo, he will choose us. If you ask any military officer, anybody, even security officer, police, if you ask them one-on-one, who do you prefer to rule? They will tell you they will choose us.
That could just be speculation.
Listen to, it's not speculation. Listen to this. It's not speculation. If you ask the opposition party, their leaders, if you ask them, their spirit is supporting us, their flesh is always saying APC or Labour. Yeah. Do you understand? Listen to this. When you see value, you know. All right? No matter how you paint a gold wristwatch, if it's not gold, it's not gold. I don't know if you're getting me. Now, this election is going to be very, very free. Because, listen, let me come. The question, let me come in. Now, somebody asked me the last time, Obaseki want to play politics with this salary for civil servant. I said, listen to this. No. Before the 70,000, Obaseki was already paying ahead other states. How? Cutting costs. We have saved over 70 billion from this unnecessary activity that was happening in the economic sector.
But why pay this money?
Listen to this. Listen to this. Let me tell you how it is.
Towards the election period.
It's not.
Why increase it towards the election period?
After we have checked the living, all right, the living table of every Edo people, we sat down at the ESCO, begin to discuss. All right. Let me tell you something. Our overhead of about all the major public servants, all right, was cut off.
Okay.
We internally generated the money that we pay these salaries. We are not taking any debt. Okay. I heard you say something that Obaseki, we don't have any debt, all right, that you are telling us to our face. What we do, we know how to cut costs. Imagine, as I speak to you now, before now, every ministry will start having vehicles. They will bring out their memo at the end of the year to say, we spent 2 billion to repair vehicles. We are buying fuel at this price. We buy diesel at this price. As I speak to you now, it doesn't have a system called move mocking. That move mocking, all the vehicles, the fleet are there. If the car that brought me here is under the fleet, if I'm not using it, it can go and pick another commissioner. Do you know how much the civil servant, do you know how much they were bringing out for this bill before Obaseki came? Now, all the vehicles are in one particular place operating. I have my app on my phone. If I need move mocking, I just call the coordinator. I need this to move mocking. I need these 2 vehicles, like Uber, like Bolt. They will come to my office, take me to where I'm going to, bring me back. If I'm not using it, I'm sleeping. Another commissioner have a supervision.
So they take the car to the pool?
Yes, of course.
It's not in the cost of
that is cutting cost.
Okay.
We're not talking about Agbero. We're not talking about making noise. They are good in talking. They are good in making noise.
Okay.
Tell me any of them today that is employer of labor in Edo. Tell me one person among all the opposition parties that have over 100 people in their file.
Okay.
Before I came into government, sir, I was having 103 staff. I have 13 warehouses in Nigeria. All right? We didn't just come here to start preaching. We came from a background where we're doing something. We're practical people. Show me anybody, apart from the small hotels some of them have. Maybe filling station where they cannot even buy full tank. That is all they have. They don't have anything to give to Edo people. What can you give to Edo people what you don't have?
We'll get back. You are getting emotional.
We'll get back to when my overhead was slashed with almost 90% because I want to increase the well-being of those civil servants.
You feel
that is the reduction of cost.
We will get back to you.
If you don't understand anything, come and ask questions.
We will get back to you. We will get back to you in a moment. But now the fear which some opposition are expressing is this. In the local government election, we saw how the 18 local government was taken over by PDP. The State House of Assembly election, at least the PDP have the highest share. Is that not, shouldn't that cause a kind of fear in the hearts of the opposition in the state?
Yeah, it shouldn't, because I can tell you the dynamic of the last political measure in Edo State. If you remember, okay, let me start from the House of Assembly. For instance, in Edo Central, we have the senator that is APC, but we have the House of Assembly. And the PDP have the highest number of House of Assembly in the same Edo Central. That means the will of the people was expressed towards the candidates and not the political party. Across the state, that was what we had. APC had senators in most places, and in those places you see the House of Assembly goes to PDP. That's to tell you that the people express their mind. Some voted for Labour in the presidential whatever election. Almost the whole Edo voted for Labour Party. Labour Party had the highest vote at that time. But when it came to Senate, you see a splitting across board because of the individual candidates. Well, I'll go back to one of the things you expressed, fear that federal might and all those
State
things.
might now. State might.
Okay, state might,
Yes.
federal might. Why the dynamics of this is very beautiful is that at the federal that controls the INEC is APC, the state governor in Edo State. So we have two mights that may come to place. But however, after the 2020 governorship gubernatorial election, it kills the fear of the might. Why? Because then I was the state coordinator too of OSM, the Obaseki tribal movement as at that time. And the fear we had was federal government will just come and write results. Obaseki is gone. I remember one of my friends humorously told me as at that time that if I have any money with state government, I should go and withdraw it because they've already written the results. That's what he told me. Another one told me that they were giving nose mask, that whenever they come to field without nose masks, the security operatives will do their bid. But we're just praying and said, well, God, you take the wheel. And God actually took the wheel. And we saw a free and fair election. I'm expecting that this election is going to be the freest election.
Okay, let's talking about the former governor of this deputy governor of the state, the impeached deputy governor of the state. The leadership of PDP has actually sanctioned them. One of the reasons was anti-party activities. Chief Dan Obi, who is also a major stakeholder in the party, has been asked to take a bow out of the party. Won't that affect the PDP?
No.
These are big weeks.
No. Listen to this. I believe, I told you before when I started, I believe in system and structures. All right? That the last election, primary election, we have 9 candidates in one place. All right? Now, they couldn't come together to say, listen, let this one go. Let this other 8 go and mobilize for this one. Do you understand? You are a leader, you are controlling 9 people at the same time, fighting for one position. That is abnormal. All right? Now, the local government election you talked about, before I just come into, before I answer this one, we were busy doing campaign. In my local government, the other aspirants were busy blackmailing, accusing people, the same way they are doing now. We were busy, myself, I was in my town, going from ward to ward, meeting women, meeting widows, meeting the orphans, meeting everybody, meeting with the youth, selling my candidate. They were busy accusing people on social media and WhatsApp groups. During the election, I was having 243, APC was having 11, Labour was having 3. It was not magic because I work for it. Hard work pays. These people are lazy people. They don't want to work.
No, you cannot just outrightly say that.
Listen to this.
Every politician is a hard-working politician.
No. Some of them don't have to
listen. You can't just outrightly say they are lazy. Maybe
before now. But the one we are seeing now are only noisemakers on social media and noisemakers on accusing enmity everywhere. All right? Let's come to this play. Listen, I'm a man. If I want to take decision, I take decision. All right? If I want to go for APC, I go for APC. If I want to go for Labour, I go for Labour. I can't be here and still be eating from here, eating from here. It's not possible. They are men. They should take decision. But if you want to leave a political party, leave that party. You have your own reason. You have your own right to leave. Now, you can't be in a party and you are supporting another party to fight the party where you claim you belong.
But Chief Dan Obi they are one of the legacy PDP. Taking them off the party.
See, he's my leader. Listen, he's my leader. All right? I don't have anything against him. But this is what I always tell him. Listen, sir. Have system. Have strategy. All right? You are the leader of this party. Governors will come and go. Party remains. What you need to do is take a decision to build this party. Remember, it's a party thing. It's not a position thing. Public servant is just days in office. If you are a party father, you are a father, and then he will not do what he's doing now.
Okay. Let's
and then he will try it. Not even our forefathers that failed this party.
We are trying to manage our
time.
Hold on.
If you want to go, you go.
We are trying to manage our time.
Take a decision.
Let's get to Benjamin. We'll come back to you in a moment.
Let me just say something.
We'll get back to you in a moment. Let's quickly get to Benjamin. Benjamin is still waiting. Benjamin, to an extent, some persons are saying, if you are not a politician, face your business and stay away from politics. And some of these candidates we have are running for the #1 office in the state. They are businessmen, successful businessmen, captains of industry, who are supposed to be faced building the society, and leave politics for traditional politicians. What says you?
I will look at it. I will give I will share my view on the international perspective on this particular question. When those of us who are opportune to be educated and work for a reputable organization, decide to leave politics for those who are traditional politicians like you referred it to, which most of them are actually from under the bridge, who has no knowledge of what they are practicing, apart from being, I was a thug for somebody, I helped somebody to become this and that. You will find these people at the corridor of power making laws, making policies that will affect those who are educated in the state. I remember some years ago when somebody who has who cannot tell Edo people his means of income, celebrating 1 billion naira in his account. You can remember that. I don't know if you still remember that video. And there you have somebody who went to school, who went through school went through that person, became a bachelor holder, and moved further, became a master degree holder, and even moved further, having so many different certificates in different fields, having the experience and having been working in different private sectors, cannot even boast of a million naira in his account. That was totally absurd in the state. For somebody to tell you that the people who are in the business sector or who are private business owners should stay out of politics, I think is another word that we use, that they normally use for bully. But Obaseki has been able to dislodge this camp of social agberos. That's the way I would put it. He has been able to dislodge them, and as you can see, since he was able to do that, the IGR of Edo State have actually increased. No market woman is being harassed. And the people in the state, the motorists are no longer being harassed daily, as we used to see during the time.
Benjamin. We've actually exhausted our time, Ben. All right, thank you so much. That was Benjamin, Mayor Yemende, who actually joined the conversation virtually from Germany. And also here in the studio, we had the privilege of having the Commissioner of Energy and Mining, J4 Enahulu. Thank you so much for being on the show. And of course, Egbe Samuel, Heavy D. I like calling you Heavy D. Thank you so for coming.
Thank you.
All right, we need to go now. You just have 3 seconds, if you can manage it.
Okay, listen. Politics,
3 seconds.
Politics is not governance. We should separate them.
Okay.
Politicians are like marketers. They bring out their best products and put it to manage the resources of that state.
All right, thank you.
Listen,
thank you.
Politicians should not be in the hands of governance.
Okay.
They should bring people with capacity.
Don't you think we should have another time to
talk about this? Yeah.
All right.
So I think what I would say to people is that as of today, we have done about 206 kilometers. You are still taking us back to the conversation. If you need any information about what is happening, you ask for the conversation.
We'll have another time and have you on board. All right, this is how far we can